some of them wouldn't. I mean,
Ain't worth it. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I
but
think I'm gonna start a little TikTok thing about that, giving real reviews.
you should do
I'm
that.
tired of seeing these. Yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
No.
And then you
Come
go
to this restaurant. I got 2 drinks for $15.
It ain't worth it.
What about the part where about the protector and the provider? How did you?
I was actually gonna say something about that. That's what really stuck with me, to actually hear a different side about going out of the scopes of the actual protecting and providing. So shout out to Sister Nikita for that, for dropping that little down, but also for opening up and broadening that spectrum of protecting and providing.
And it's oddly enough, I mean, I feel like I hear it, or I've heard it, but to hear it in a space to where it's, I don't know. I don't want to say that it was believable or it was something that hit me different because it was in a grander space, but it definitely, again, made me self-reflect more, as in, it's more than just to say, protect and provide is a long list of different things, not just protect and provide.
Not just the physical protect and provide.
You got protect and provide, parentheses, all this stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
that was pretty deep. I was quiet for a few days just trying to process.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Protecting me with my mental state, protecting my heart, protecting I was like, wait a minute.
It makes you think about a whole bunch.
You know what I'm saying?
Did I do that? So
how you showing up for me in this space? And I was like, wow.
But I think, to talk on what I think it was just a space that it can be received better.
Maybe.
I think
maybe
that's what
because I feel like it's.
It was more or less, a conversation to where, you had a black woman opening up.
Yeah.
Not just how they say they're not protected, but she was opening up to us to say, hey, it goes a lot deeper than
Absolutely
just the physical part of protecting and providing. So it made me receive it a whole lot better too, because sometimes we get caught up just in that. Oh, I'm doing my part.
Exactly, and I think that's probably the biggest part, because and that's again either what we saw or what was said.
Right.
From what we picked up from growing up, protect and provide.
Yep.
Yeah.
Those are just two things. And again, not to say that those additional things weren't going on then. It's just that what we heard, protect and provide.
Yeah.
So as long as I'm doing that,
as long as I'm doing that,
I'm good. What you got? You know what I mean? It's like it's so much more. You know what I mean? So that's
that whole programming. I mean, like you said, repetitive. When you have that repetitive nature, then it's kind of like, okay, good. So I checked this box. I checked this box. You know what I'm saying? So now that I got all the box checked, shoot, I'm straight. I'm straight. You know what I mean?
And I think even with that, like a lot of times when we have discussions and she brings that up, and I would get so offended by the checkbox thing. But it's like, maybe that's kind of what it is. Protect, provide, there's a check there. I've done my job as a husband, as a father today.
Yep.
And maybe the reason why I would get so affected by it, because I guess to me it felt like it was being minimized, yet that's kind of that's what was happening. I just didn't want to, I don't want to come out and say it, baby, you're right. That's because I wanted to make sure, as with the routine, you make sure you have things, set so that other things can go like they need to. And I guess that's just, a small-minded way of saying, I've done my job, yet not even knowing I literally just started the job. I got so much other stuff that also needs to be adhered to. So, And
when we tell y'all marriage is work, man.
Hey,
it ain't no written book on
work.
this.
Full-time job.